When traveling between Christchurch and Lake Tekapo, you want to make sure not to miss any special places in between. In this video, we'll go through the route on a South Island map, point out our top places you don't want to miss. So let's look into the details. So now we have a beautiful travel map here of the South Island of New Zealand. So people would start traveling from Christchurch. And what you do, the main point I want to raise here, you don't want to go down all the State Highway 1. This is fairly boring. So it's a much better way to actually do that inland scenic route. It basically starts with number 72. Go on traveling towards Arthur's Pass, and then you travel on the 77, State Highway 77, through Glen Tunnel towards the Rakaia Gorge, wind whistle, apparently it's called. So Rakaia Gorge is one of the Rakaia rivers, one of the major rivers coming out of the Southern Alps. You got here the Southern Alps going through the whole of the South Island. So there's a divide between the west coast and the south and the eastern side of the South Island. So anyway, back to Rakaia Gorge. There's some walks. I'll show you pictures in a minute, but it's a one-way bridge going over the Rakaia Gorge. There's also a little campground if you're into camping. But I'll show you a couple of pictures just to bring it across how beautiful that region really is. So this is a view from the bridge viewing towards the western side, towards the Southern Alps. Oh, look at that. That is another picture from the bridge looking to the other side, to the eastern side. Yet another one. So it's a beautiful area. It's there's a hike in that place. It basically starts where this bridge is. There's a little car park here, and you can actually go hiking on the other side, and you walk up that river bed. So it's highly recommended. Here's another stunning view of that bridge. So okay, so let's move on to the next place to stop. So Rakaia River Gorge, that's number one. Passing Mount Hutt. Mount Hutt is a famous ski area in the winter season, of course. A lot of internationals, but also many New Zealanders go there. But what I want to talk about here is a little reserve. It's called Awa Awa Reserve. So this is, again, it's along the way when you come from the Rakaia River. It's along the way. I just have a quick look, showcasing how beautiful this little place is. So it's well signposted. These are the classic Department of Conservation signposts. You see, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour or so. So just gives you an idea. These beautiful rhododendron trees are located here. They in flower around about September, October. That's normally, or maybe even August, end of August, September. So that's definitely one of these kind of hidden small places. Picture in the winter time, so it's not much walking in the winter, but just gives you an idea of these kind of places. Most travelers actually pass by. So this is Awa Awa Reserve. Make your way, continue all over the drive between Christchurch and Lake Tekapo will be around about 4 hours. It's about 270 kilometers. The next stop I recommend is actually a place called Staveley. It's a little township. Not even a township. There's actually a cafe there, but there's a beautiful little accommodation, the Red Cottage. We stayed there a couple of times. It's a lovely setting. If you decide to spend a bit of time in the countryside, so you're not rushing from Christchurch to Tekapo, but maybe decide to have another night or two in the area. I'll tell you another reason why in a minute, but this is the Red Cottage. It's just a lovely little local place. Breakfast provisions provided, so you prepare it yourself, but they're provided. They're locals on site. They have 3-room accommodations available. So this is definitely a stunning place if you want to explore the region a little bit more. So that's Red Cottage. But the reason I would kind of suggest, if you have the time to stay here, is actually going into an area called Mount Sunday. So Mount Sunday is Lord of the Ring country. What's happened is that it's around about a good hour's drive all the way from the main road. But Mount Sunday is one of the key filming scenes. You park the car here. There's a little car park right on that corner. And you go over the swing bridge, and let's have a look at some gorgeous pictures. You can actually see that region here. Look at that. So what's happening is you can walk. You see the swing bridge here. You walk across there, and the track basically goes on to the left side, and then you go all the way up here to that Mount Sunday. I mean, it's for die-hard Lord of the Ring fans. It's a place to go. Yeah, look at that scenery. It's basically high country. In the summer season, accessible. In winter, it's far too cold. But yeah, it's look at that. A classic New Zealand swing bridge. Many tourists, travelers like it, but there's not many going there. So it's kind of another hidden spot. You need a full day. Therefore, I suggest to stay in round about Staveley. That's an option, obviously. Here we are. They're also running tours. It's a company in Christchurch, hassle-free. They will actually stop in Staveley and pick you up. And they also do day tours from Christchurch. But you get all the equipment and pictures and all the rest of it. So there's also another hiking area, which is called Mount Somers. So Mount Somers is also hiking. It's not a national park. It's kind of like a forest park, but that does not really matter too much. The scenery is still very gorgeous. So, and then you continue traveling, and the next stop I would recommend is a place called Geraldine. Geraldine is rural heartland. There is a famous company, Burkes. They're doing berries, jams, chutneys. So there's chutneys. That is Burkes food store, which I mentioned just before. You can taste the jams, and there's also a beautiful accommodation next to it. It's called the 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝘁𝗲𝗃. The 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝗁. I'll put the link in the description. So if you have a bit more time, I highly recommend to have a couple of nights here. You can do day trips. So from Geraldine, there are actually trips, farm tours. There's also some hiking trails. There's horse riding. There's fly fishing. I mean, really, the options are endless, but you get that real New Zealand experience with that. Okay, so that's Geraldine. Let's move over. The next stop, you continue here on SH79. Fairly, again, another little support town. You're actually now nearly, you're entering the Mackenzie country, and there's a kind of a story about James Mackenzie and his dog, and how they shifted some sheep, but that's another video for another time. But you're entering basically Mackenzie country. And especially with the sheepdog, just briefly, the sheepdog's been invaluable for farmers throughout the last couple of 100 years. They still are, really. From Fairley, you head over to Burkes Pass, and you're nearly in Tekapo, but I would encourage you to go up to stop at Burkes Pass, because there's some quaint little there's a quaint little place with old cars and old signage, and it's really something very special. And again, it's very often people pass that and just miss so much. There's a little church, of course, as well, but you're going up the pass here, Burkes Pass, which is about 710 meters, something like that. So that's basically when you're going up into the Mackenzie country, the plateau. Tekapo is around about the same, it's about 710 or 720 altitude. So it's pretty cold in the winter time. But obviously stunning views. It's a plateau. There are hardly any trees. It's mainly grassland. Lake Tekapo, which is located on this beautiful turquoise lake. There's also another one, Lake Alexandria, which is actually quite a little thing to do as well if you have some time. But yeah, most people come to Tekapo to enjoy the stunning scenery, the views. Here's some pictures again. They have, it's one of the key places in New Zealand to do night sky watch. There's horse riding, there are farm tours, mountain biking, and also it's a key location. Here's the Church of the Good Shepherd, again, to do with farming, with the dogs. And there's also a monument about the dogs as well. I'm not sure if they show that here, but yeah, that is the scenery which is so popular. I mean, people come in, they make pictures all the time. So yeah, here's a ram, and this is, as I mentioned before, it's merino sheep country. So merino for the best wool New Zealand exports. So again, I mean, we could go on and on about it, but it gives you kind of an idea. Mount Cook Village, which so most people, or many people, let's say, they would stay in Lake Tekapo, and they use it as a base to actually head over to Mount Cook Village, where they do kind of like a helicopter flight, they do hiking, and people would go through here. They travel along Tekapo, and then there's a beautiful viewpoint here at Lake 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏. That's worth a stop, and then it's all the way up, passing Glen Tenner into the Aoraki Mount Cook National Park. It takes about 1.5 hours. It's around about 110 kilometers or something like that. So it's a stunning road here. I mean, it's incredible on a nice day. Keep in mind, the weather conditions can be patchy up here, but just a couple of extra hints when you come into Mount Cook Village. The Hooker Valley Track is very famous. It's quite busy too, but it's worth doing. So I get you some pictures here. It's just a stunning scenery. It's absolutely magnificent, especially, as I mentioned before, on a beautiful day like this. Look at that. I mean, it's just cracker. That's Mount Cook, or that was Mount Cook. It's the highest Mount Cook and Mount Tasman, the highest peaks in New Zealand, about 3,753, I think it was. And here's the bridge over the river, heading into the Hooker Valley. Another place I want to show you is what I actually like is the Tasman Glacier viewpoint, which is over here. Again, you're looking right into the Lake Tasman. That used to be all ice. I think it's about 15 or 20 years ago it was all ice, but you can see the glacier here in the background. They do tours with boats on that trip where you can actually see floating icebergs. But so yeah, it gives you a couple of. It's a lovely walk. I love that walk. It's it's going a bit up, but it's a lovely walk. So you really want to plan either a couple of hikes or even a heli hike. You can fly onto the glacier with a helicopter and do a hike for a couple of hours. So yeah, so that hopefully gives you kind of an idea for that kind of Christchurch to Tekapo area to discover. Again, there's, if you have any other places you think are worthwhile mentioning, just mention it in the subscription box. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed that little video and you get value out of it, and love for you to subscribe and leave any comments, and we'll see us in the next video. Thank you very much.